everyone. I hope this video reaches each and every one of you in good health. If you do not know, my name is Grace. I am the lead concierge at Bonterra and Cross Creek Ranch. If you're anything like me, you know having your routine completely thrown off has been challenging. But fortunately, I have taken the time to really focus on things that I enjoy during these days. And one of those things is cooking. So that brings me to my cabin fever video for y'all today. And that is me cooking. And I am going to be cooking Cuban sandwiches, also known as cubanos. I am not Cuban, so this is kind of my take on the whole recipe. And it was awesome. It was a fun journey. So I hope you sit back and enjoy this with me. We are starting with our mojo, pork rub, and syringe, and of course our pork shoulder. We are going to go ahead and begin preheating the oven to 300. I would like to note that the pork rub and marinade, you can find both at H-E-B. Then we're going to begin rinsing and pat drying our pork. The earlier you do this, the better. We're going to go ahead and shake up our mojo so that anything that had settled can evenly be spread out through the bottle. Get our syringe and fill that up and start just injecting the pork as much or as little as you'd like. Again, the earlier you do this, the more tender your pork will come out. I was a little bit on a time crunch, so I didn't have time to let it sit for a few hours. But again, use as little or as much as you'd like. Then go ahead and start seasoning with the pork rub. I'm seasoning the front and the back. Once you are done seasoning, go ahead and flip that pork shoulder to where the skin is facing up. Once you get that all seasoned, we're going to go ahead and cover the pork in a fairly deep pan with some aluminum foil. Make sure that it is covered real tight. Don't worry, I put an extra piece of foil. We're going to set that in the oven. And now it is time to forget. We put this in at 10 a.m. Now it is time for a coffee and breakfast break. Now we wait. Walk through your garden and make sure everything is looking good. Mimosas can be drinking any time of the day, right? Cheers to your boyfriend who's been your cameraman all day. If you do not know, this is my boyfriend, Alvin. Sometimes he picks me up from work, so if you ever see him, say hi. Go ahead and make an undisclosed amount of mimosas. All right, back to the real stuff. It is now 1 p.m. We're going to go ahead and take our pork out of the oven, and we're going to see how it looks. Be careful, it is hot. Take off slowly. Now you can see there's a lot of good juices there. We're going to go ahead and uncover and then put it back into the oven safely, as those juices are very, very hot. We're going to leave this in for about another 2 hours until the temperature reaches 170 Fahrenheit. Now we're going to go ahead and get our meat thermometer and make sure that the temperature has reached at least 170 on the inside. We're going to put this in several places of the pork just to make sure, and it looks good. So we're going to go ahead and pull it out and start just letting those juices run on top of our meat to get it nice and moist, get it real flavorful, and we're going to let it rest for about 30 minutes. Usually, if the pork is marinated for a good amount of time, the bone will just slide out. That was not the case here, so we went ahead and just started shredding the pork into the pan where all the juices are. That way it stays nice and moist, nice and flavorful. I am using a hoagie roll, so what I'm going to go ahead and do is cut this in half, open it nice. The trick is to lay the cheese first. That way when we go ahead and toast it, the cheese is going to melt and it's going to give a nice melt. Then we're going to go ahead and put our honey ham and then a little bit of mustard. Of course, these ingredients can be altered to your taste, but I am going with the traditional route. We're going to go ahead and add the pickles and then some of the pork that we made. Once you go ahead and finish making your sandwich, you can put it somewhere where it can be toasted. A panini press, I don't have one, so I'm using a George Foreman grill. Let it toast for a little bit, and it should come out looking like this. a Cubano sandwich. It's awesome. I can assure you it tastes great. Thank you, everyone.